Welcome back. You're watching My Community on My45. I'm your host, Gabriel Alvarez. We have a really good show for you here today. For our next guest, we have Jaime and Yazid from the CapK Food Bank, and we're going to be talking about a little bit more about that and getting me more information on that. Thank you guys for being on the show here today.
Thank you for having us.
So first of all, can you share a little bit more of CapK and what the food bank is about?
Yeah, so we are the main food bank for the county. We serve, obviously, the entire Kern County. We have over 100 distributions throughout the county. So no matter where anybody lives, if they are in need of food assistance, they just dial 211, let the operator know where they live, and the operator will refer them to the closest distribution in their area.
Awesome. The 211, there's a lot of information even for that number, correct?
Yes, 211 is for any kind of service that you are in need. So if you're looking for food assistance, they'll help you. If you're having a problem paying your PG&E bill, they'll find you a place to go to assist you with that. If you're looking for affordable daycare, because we have a lot of single parents that want to work, and unfortunately all their money goes to daycare, so it's kind of counterproductive. Right. So they find low income or free daycare. All kinds of other services. 211 works with dozens of nonprofits throughout the county.
Wow, that's amazing. Especially you hit the daycare part. It's like you're working for the daycare. That's hard.
Yes.
That's hard to do. So 211 is a number to call just for about any need.
Anything, yes.
And so specifically we're talking about food drive and getting more food for Kern County. My understanding is Kern County is the number one of food insecurities?
Yes, we are number one in the state as far as food insecurity based on population.
Okay.
Kern County has a 23% poverty rate, which means about almost a little over 200,000 people are food insecure in Kern County. We are in the top 10 also in the nation based on population as well. And so we do our best to obviously make sure we try and get enough food out to those who are in need.
All right, and how do we know that? How do we know that there's so many families, and that's a pretty high percentage here in Kern County, and what does that mean?
The demographics are done by the state. The state takes the population of Kern County, they see the income, and they calculate people who are 120% below the poverty level. And then the state does send us enough food based on what they call the 60-40 ratio. They send us enough food for 60% of the poor and 40% of the unemployed, meaning half the people are in need, but we're very fortunate we are able to assist the other half with a variety of different programs that are not government funded. Kern County is a very generous county. We get donations from all walks of life, from schools, from private businesses, from international businesses, from other nonprofits, and definitely also from the community. Yeah,
CapK is you see some of the trucks around Kern County. It's very awesome. How did it start?
Well, the Kern County Food Bank started in the 80s, and then our organization, Community Action Partnership of Kern, took over in the 90s, and then it went from the Kern County Food Bank to the CapK Food Bank. However, the mission is still the same. The mission is still obviously to serve people. We're very fortunate. We have grown in the last 5 years by a little over 35%. So although we've gotten larger, the donations have also gotten larger, and that's really been beneficial because we're hitting more of the numbers that are needed.
And it's great to have people to donate more food and be able to serve more people, which is great. And what are the numbers? How many people do you guys serve a month?
We serve well over 103,000. We believe it's closer to 200,000, but unfortunately it's very hard sometimes to get accurate statistics because we do our best to make sure all of our programs are anonymous. We don't want to scare anybody away. Some people are very hesitant to come get food from us because they may already be on government assistance, and they're afraid if I go get food from, a lot of people think we are a government agency, but we're not, we're a nonprofit. But what they're afraid is if I go get food from that is government food, I might lose my government assistance, and that's not the case. We do take down a little bit of information, but it's only for demographic purposes. We don't track people. We don't know exactly where they live. All of our statistics are for us to prove, obviously, to our donors and to the state what kind of population we serve, how many are children, how many are seniors, and that allows us to get certain grants and certain funding for us to continue to serve the community.
And I believe you guys have many distributions in Bakersfield and outside of Bakersfield?
Yes, we have well over 100. I mean, we're closer to the 120 distributions throughout the county.
Wow.
So almost no matter where you live, there is going to be at least one distribution. That's kind of my job. I do my best to make sure there's at least two in every town. That way, if you miss one distribution, you can still make it to another. For the most part, we're doing pretty well in almost every community. There's at least at least one.
Right.
There are some communities that unfortunately is very hard for us to find more than one nonprofit because it's a very, very small town.
Okay. How does the distributions work, and how often are you guys at the different locations?
We have over 384 distributions a month.
Okay.
So the way it works is some of our partners are open to the public once or twice or 3 or 4 times a month. We have some that are open Monday through Friday. It just really depends on the organization. And then people just show up on the distribution day and time. They fill out a line, and they know their name, address, zip code, and how many are in their family, and they get food. Most of our sites do not even require an ID, and it's because, again, we don't want to scare anybody away. So if you're very hesitant to tell us who you really are, just put Elvis Presley. It doesn't matter.
That's very awesome. I think it's very good to be able to make it open to anybody who's in need to go into these distribution centers. And if somebody's wanting to know the different locations, is there a place where they can find those?
We do have the map on our website, which is www.capk.org/food. All the way on the bottom, there is a map, and it has all of our distributions throughout the county. When you click on a bubble, it'll tell you the name of the organization and days and time they're open. So you could look at what's closest to your home, or you could always just dial 211, and the operator will be more than happy to find the distribution closest to your area.
Going back to the 211, I think that's, I'm sure you guys get a lot of calls, even people calling 211.
We do. We get a lot, especially to our warehouse, and a lot of times they call our warehouse and they say, "Oh, when can I come get food?" And we always have to tell them, unfortunately, we're just the main warehouse, so all the donations come to us to get sorted out, make sure it's nothing that's damaged or expired, and we send it out to our partner sites, and then the sites give it out to the people. It's a lot more efficient. It doesn't make any sense for somebody to come, for example, all the way from Shafter to Bakersfield just for a box of food. You've spent just as much on gas. So it's a lot more efficient for them to be able to call 211, and 211 will tell them, well, if you live in Shafter, here are the distributions, here are the days and times.
Right. So we're pretty much in the summertime, and it gets pretty warm here in Bakersfield. And because of that, a lot of kids are out of school. How is that different? Because we're in summer, a lot of kids are out of school. Does that alter or change any of what you guys do?
Yes, our numbers do increase a little bit during the summertime, and I think it's because a lot of parents rely on the schools to make sure the kids are fed. A lot of kids get breakfast and lunch at school, and so all the parents have to do is just make dinner. However, during the summertime, now the parents have to not only feed the kids 3 times a day, but then again we also run into that same problem with daycare. We do have a lot of volunteers that come through the Department of Human Services to volunteer at the food bank, and during the summer they struggle because they can't find affordable or free daycare, and so it's more of a burden. And that's why we always encourage people to help us out more during the summer, because we definitely could use the help, and the community could definitely use the help as well.
Right. We got to take a quick break, but we're going to talk more with these guys and have Jaime talk a little bit more about how you can volunteer and the different food drives we're going to be having, what they're going to be having throughout the summer. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.